what is it that they want, right? This is the one question you often get whenever the North Koreans do something badly. It was the one question I often got when I had to go in and brief the president. He would say, what do they want? You know, it was as simple as that. It was just sort of, what do they want? And it's a tough question to answer. You know, it's a really difficult question to answer. I think many people say, well, they want security guarantees, they want to be accepted by the international community. They're a small, isolated power that the only way they can seek security is through nuclear weapons. They want negotiations with the United States, these sorts of things. That's often what you hear. The problem with that particular explanation at this point in time is that many of the things that people say the North wants have been offered to them in the context of 16 years of negotiation with North Korea, right? During the Clinton administration that led to the first agreement with North Korea, negotiated by Robert Gallucci, the 1994 Agreed Framework, to the second agreement negotiated with North Korea under the Bush administration, the 2005 Six-Party Joint Statement, all of which provided energy assistance, economic assistance, the promise of a more normal relationship with the United States and the world, the promise of a peace treaty to end the Korean War, the promise of a larger Northeast Asian peace and security regime in which the North could live in a relatively benign environment if it were to give up its nuclear weapons. So, you know, the disappointing thing to me, having participated in these negotiations and having studied the history of them as an academic, is that many of the things that people think they want have already been offered to them. And yet they still continue to do the things that they do. Which leads me to think there are two other things that they want. And frankly, I think there are two things that we can't give them. The first of these things is they want to be a nuclear weapon state. They want to be established as a nuclear weapon state in which they would be happy to engage in arms negotiations with the United States. They'd be happy to engage in mutual nuclear arms reductions talks with the United States. As they have said, we'd like, like you used to do with the Soviet Union. We'd be happy to do that. So they would be happy to have negotiations as an established nuclear weapon state in which they, like the United States, would negotiate a reduction in their nuclear capabilities, but would never really give up all of their capabilities. Right? So ironically, when I listened to President Obama give the speech in Prague, I thought, the North Koreans would probably agree with this. They would probably agree, yes, we should all attempt to get to a zero option. All of us, the nuclear weapon states, we should try to get to zero.